Cat is out. He's running around. He's.
All right, well, welcome to Can Angels Fly Tarot and More. My name is Nancy, and I'm here to do a tarot update for May 2021. The theme that will be surrounding this particular tarot reading is about fears. It's the question or concern about us having a fear that is motivating us at this time. Let's see. I apologize for any sound distortions. They are occurring at the beginning of my videos because I have to go through so many different tasks in order to prepare my live stream once it begins. For some reason, I cannot do it before. So I do apologize. So let me close some of these extra windows and prepare. Again, you're here at Can Angels Fly Tarot and More. My name is Nancy, and I'm here to do a tarot update for May 2021. If you're ever interested in ordering your own personal tarot reading, you can do so by contacting me by email. My email is canangelsfly1@gmail.com. All the details that you need to order your own personal tarot reading is below this video in the Show More section. At this time, I ask you to please like my content, to share my channel with others. And if you haven't already subscribed to my channel, I ask you to subscribe to my channel. Once you have subscribed to my channel, please go to my home page, look in the upper right-hand corner to locate the little bell. Click on the bell so you'll be notified whenever I go live and or upload a video. Once again, I do apologize for any sound distortions in the background. A neighbor just decided to cut their grass. It's never the perfect time to do a video over here at Can Angels Fly Tarot and More. But I do ask you to ride the wave with me anyway. Hello. Hello. Okay, I'm going to frame this tarot reading. And when I say frame it, what I'm trying to frame it with is the information that I found in the astrological energies and over this past week or so. And it is about an aspect of our being, which is the ego, or a portion of the ego that is has been negatively impacted by our physical world, some of our physical worldly experiences. And that portion of our ego, as coined by Sigmund Freud, is the id, id. Many people have a subconscious fear embedded in them. Okay, so before I move forward and begin to read the tarot cards, it was something else I wanted to talk about. I wanted to talk about the id a little more, that portion of each of ourselves that has been negatively impacted. At this time, I have on the screen an article from Wikipedia on the topic of the id, the ego, and the superego, the three components of the overall ego that each of us possess. Right now, I'm just focusing on the id portion. You can't see this article. I can, from my perspective, and so I'm going to read. What I'm about to read is informing you about the id. So, the id, psychic apparatus is called, under the category is psychic apparatus. The id. The id is the instinctual component of the personality that is present at birth and is the source of bodily needs and wants, emotional impulses and desires, especially aggression and the libido or the sex drive. The id acts according to the pleasure principle. The pleasure principle. The psychic force oriented to immediate gratification of impulse and desire, defined by the avoidance of pain. See, if you pay attention, if I'm reading this effectively, it is possible that you already picked up on that the id don't like no pain. But what I just said in the beginning is the id has suffered pain. It has been improperly influenced. The id itself has been traumatized by what? Our past, some of our past life experiences. It's those life experiences that are unanticipated and unwarranted, and we wonder where they come from. And we don't have no control over them. We just end up shoving how we feel and our thoughts on it to the back of our minds, and we got to keep on living on. Some examples of such type of experiences on a broad scale. I ain't talking about in your personal life, because I can't go into details about what's been happening in your personal life. From the death of a loved one, you can't understand it, to carjacking, and you can't understand it. But on a broad scale, we had such events as 9/11, a hurricane, the results of Hurricane Katrina, the Cold War, the subliminal messages we receive from advertisement and what do you call it, entertainment, like apocalypse or post-apocalypse, storylines, incite fear, concern, worry about our what? Physical, worldly sense of security, Anywho, so the id has negatively been affected, and its primary goal is to feel good and to avoid pain at all costs. Last sentence in this article that I'm going to read is Freud who, Sigmund Freud, said that the id is unconscious. It's unconscious. It's not aware. Like I said, we push it to the back of our minds. And over time, we're not even aware that, we've been negatively impacted and our life goes on. So the next thing I want to talk about is why some people are sheeple or asleep or not awakening. I have a theory, and so I'm going to share it here. Out of the world's population, there's a percentage of the population that loves fear. They love it. People that go ride these crazy roller coasters, that drop you out of the sky and different things. And during a Halloween holiday, they go to the haunted houses and go to those haunted houses where you go up levels. And if you can go all the way through the haunted house, they give you your money back because what? You made it through. And so my point is, many of us love fear. And so I've located this article online. It's called, it's at the Atlantic.com Health Archive. And it was written, I believe, in 2013. Not going to read it all, but I just want to share this doctor's findings about fear. So this doctor is called Dr. Kerr, Kerr, and this doctor is a staff psychologist at Scare House. Mm-hmm. And this doctor primary study is on fear and how some people really love or enjoy fear. Let me see. In the article, it has a subtitle. And the subtitle is, why do some people like the feeling of being scared while others don't? So I'm going to read this one little paragraph out of the article. It says, not everyone enjoys being afraid, and I don't think it's a stretch to say that no one wants to experience a true life-threatening situation. Nobody really wants that, even though some people enjoy fear. But there are those of us, a lot of us, who really enjoy the experience. Enjoy what experience? Being afraid. Mm-hmm. First, the natural high from the fight or flight response can feel great. Okay. There is strong evidence that this isn't just about personal choice, but about our brain chemistry. New research from David Zeld shows that people differ in their chemical response to thrilling situations. One of the main hormones released during scary or thrilling activities is dopamine. Mhm. And it turns out some people may get more of a kick from this dopamine response than others. So, right now, I want to focus on dopamine to answer the question about why are some people still asleep? Why are they sheeple? Why are they unaware about what's taking place? Seems to be taking place in our reality, which is a potential threat. And why are some just totally unconcerned? Why? Okay, I'm gonna let that go. Dopamine is a part of the answer. We live in a world now where our moral fiber has changed drastically from what it was 100 years ago. How can I say this? Dopamine is a part of the answer to why people are not concerned. I'm going to try this again. I don't want this to be long. This is a tarot reading, but I need to frame it. Fear is a natural response. It's supposed to happen. When we are in a threatening situation, it alerts us to wake up, get on arms, prepare to defend thyself. Mm-hmm. But over the decades, we have been psychologically and chemically manipulated by the powers to ignore the alert of fear. That means we won't be concerned. So we won't be aware. So we what? We'll stay sheeples. Okay? And easy to what? Subdue. Okay. Over the last 100 years, there has been an increase in participating in activities that give us, the people, reoccurring hits of this chemical or natural drug called dopamine. So let me try to make this make sense. If we had not overused this natural chemical in our body called dopamine, which is also a natural drug, if we hadn't overused it, when we would get those hits, we would be alert. We would be awake. We would move to be in arms and be prepared to defend ourselves. But over time, over this last century, over the last few decades at least, we have been led to overuse or overstimulate that natural occurring chemical or drug in our body called dopamine. How? Well, we often participate in such activities. Sex, or like adultery and cheating. It's the rush that you get. That rush is the dopamine hit. Or being in love, jumping from one relationship to another, constantly getting this dopamine hit. Drugs, being an addict or addicted to some substance, including alcohol, stimulates the continuous dopamine hits. What about like rock and roll or real fierce and powerful soul-jerking music? Yes, another stimuli to trigger the dopamine hit. What about gambling? Yeah, triggers a dopamine hit. And a couple of other examples of how dopamine is sparked or spiked in our system is from getting attention or fame. We are currently, not a dog barking, I do apologize. We are currently in a time period in the history of humanity, it's like no other because of what? Social media, posting pictures and getting likes, getting noticed, becoming again trendy or popular, whatever. Dopamine hits. With every like, dopamine hits. This information I'm sharing with you is not new. The people that have created some of these apps and social media apps and things or programs like that have talked about it, how dangerous it is. And now, at this point in time, I found supporting information in astrology that talks about how or why people are still asleep when they should be alert. Alert about what? The threat to their physical, worldly well-being and security. This is why people are asleep. It is because what? We have misused, we've been led to misuse the dopamine, our own natural chemicals in our bodies. How can I say this? Then I'm going to move forward from it, maybe come back to it later. I'm saying that the powers that exist, have been and do exist, have used our own chemical makeup against us by leading us through different means, such as social media and things like that, relaxed laws on like drugs and marijuana and different things like that. And again, the decay in our moral fiber. That's right. We okay with cheating and lying and, doing all that. All of that has been a plan. We've been manipulated into desensitizing ourselves. Chemically, we overdid it, overindulged on our own chemical till we desensitized. So there are some people that fear is not their, how would I say, their threshold for fear has raised so high because of the abuse and misuse of that natural occurring drug that they're never able to get up to above the threshold to be sparked into shock, into concern about their own physical well-being. Therefore, they stay asleep. One more thing that I failed to talk about is how dopamine is the natural reoccurring chemical or drug that induces or sparks pleasure. So we can get a dopamine hit just by eating some chocolate, some chocolate. Okay, so I think I have kind of covered what I want to cover before I get started. Okay. The first sign today is Pisces. Pisces, your motto is I believe. Let's see what the tarot card suggests is in store for you at this time. Am I live? What is going on? And I ain't ran my mouth for something wrong. I'm gonna keep going and hope it's fine. Okay. Let's see what the tarot cards bring up. Okay, Pisces, your first card is we have the Judgment card in reverse. Now, the Judgment card suggests that at this point in time in your life, you are not to make a definite decision about some subject matter. And what is that subject matter possibly about? We'll see. The next card is the Ten of Swords in reverse, pointing back to the Nine of Swords. The Nine of Swords talks about your beliefs, your philosophies, your highest level of understanding about this world, your life, yourself, and how these beliefs, compel you to move forward in life and do what you do. And some things may not have gone in your favor, may not have panned out the way you had hoped. And why do I say that? It's because the Ten of Swords is here, which suggests that when you put forth your best effort, it didn't pan out the way you wanted it to. What ended up happening is you felt defeated. You may have felt socially shunned and something like that, and you might be ready to give up. You may be ready to give up. Back to your motto is I believe. Many of you Pisces believe it's time to give up. It's time to give up. But the Judgment card is the first card says, hey, don't you make that final decision. Don't you, Pisces, decide to give up because things have not panned out the way you had hoped. Let's see. The next card is the World card. It's in reverse. At this point in time, Pisces may feel that like you're stuck in a rut, that things are not moving forward. The World card suggested in reverse. It suggests that you're in the midst of or you're moving through a particular cycle or season in your life. And so it's really not time for change yet. You got to live out the residual effects or occurrences associated with your most recent decisions and the various scenarios that's played out in your life. You can't just cut the scene and start something new. You got to live out that which has already began to occur. Okay. So I understand and I can see the Pisces, you want to just give up, start anew. You want to wipe the slate clean now, and you feel the blockage. That's another pressure on you. You feel the blockage because what you do want to cut and run. You just want to wipe the slate clean and start again right now. But this is not the time to do so. It is also not the time to make, it's almost like making an irrational decision to just give up, to end something, to immediately try to jump ship and start something new, So I understand, Pisces, you're ready for a change. Your last card, and then it's going to be time for me to meditate on this to tie it into the theme, which is fear, is the Page of Swords. The Page is a young, often inexperienced. This could be you, Pisces. You may be very inexperienced with the sword, with the thoughts that are running through your mind. It seems like it's thoughts of doubt running through many Pisces' mind. That's why you want to abandon ship about something in your life. Now, truly, the current energies that we are participating in seem to be focusing on our sense of physical, worldly security and stability and how we obtain it, whether it's through work, a hustle, whatever. And the cards are saying maybe, like, for instance, you decided to take a chance and try an endeavor in order to earn some, extra money or resources or something, and it just ain't working out. Maybe you find that it's costing you more. Your overhead is more than what you're bringing in, and you ready to jump ship, as an example. But this is not a time. You got to finish living out the whole effects of your choices. Meaning, okay, follow an example. If you did jump in and invest and started an endeavor, and it's not going well, your overhead cost is greater than what the profit you're making, what you're bringing in. You're going to have to live that out. That's to say, even if things never turn around and go on your way and you make a profit, you're going to have to run that whole scenario through. If it ends in bankruptcy, that's what you got to do. You got to run a scenario through. If you end up just breaking it even in the end, you got to run it through. You got to run it through. And so the tarot cards are suggesting that spirit knows that you don't really know how to deal with this process mentally. It's maybe messing with your head. Again, you feel ready to jump ship because you don't even know how to process it. It's real heavy, And so going back to the theme, which is about fear, it seems that Pisces, you are suffering from fear because of maybe a concern with failure or not meeting your goal or fulfilling the agenda, So you feel like you're taking too many losses. It's not panning out the way you want. An example, what a person might want is profit. You want profit, and it's not happening. You spending way more than you're taking in as an example, and you're ready to jump ship. But the tarot card said, this is not a time that you are going to jump ship. And the reason why life may not allow you to jump ship or to end something abruptly that you've already began, Pisces, is because there is more experiences to be had in your current circumstance and situation, even though you may be afraid. Afraid of what? Keeping with my example is loss. So yes, you believe that you may need to jump ship in order to, it's called cutting your losses, to cut your losses. But the tarot cards are saying this is not the time. There is some vital information that you will accumulate as you finish this cycle out. So it's going to take you, Pisces, to embrace bravery, to believe in yourself, literally believe in yourself, and understand the reason why you selected to do what you did is because it really resonated with you. And so if you don't get like the profit you foresaw, like the money, I know it hurts. I know it's a triggering fear within your life. But the tarot card, again, is suggesting, say, hold on. You're going to finish the cycle. You got to live the residual effects out. And trust and believe you're going to get some gems from your experience. Whether it might be a gem or it may be you learned a new business tactic. Before the end of the season of this scenario that's playing out in your life, you're going to gain a strong network or something like that. Hopefully that makes sense, Pisces. Okay. On to the next. Oh, I hate when that happens. Okay. The next sign is Aquarius. Aquarius, your motto is I know. Let's see what the tarot cards suggest is in store for you. All right, Aquarius. Your first card is, this is the Chariot card. The Chariot card suggests this level of bravery, enthusiasm, feeling self-empowered, in control as you move forward through your current unfolding life experiences. Remember, the theme is fear. In the opening of this video, I talked about how some people enjoy fear, have come to enjoy fear, have been psychologically manipulated and chemically manipulated to enjoy fear, or also have been manipulated to miss the mark or the alert of fear. Chariot card, possibly. You're feeling, with this card, you're feeling too good. You're feeling too empowered. Some of you. Remember, Aquarius, you are the representative of an individual, one of the individuals out of the 7.8 plus billion people in the world that create humanity at this time. So, some Aquariuses or individuals are missing the mark. They missing the alarm. We're going to see. Very brave, courageous, again, well-balanced, strong, just feeling assertive and moving forward directly. Okay. The next card is the Page of Pentacles. The page is young, youthful, inexperienced with the pentacle. That means obtaining, sustaining, and maintaining something out of the physical world. It's going to get that money, put it in the savings, make it work for you, et cetera, et cetera. Kind of immature with it, So thus far, the cards are saying, hey, some people with a primary focus on Aquarius, you're feeling good, feeling self-empowered and confident and all these kind of things. And you go after and get, pursue wealth. I'll sum it up like that. You pursue wealth or riches. You pursue riches. And again, and it's this level of immaturity. So it could be the means that you pursue riches. Kind of childlike, not well thought out, but okay, you pursue it. And then you take those riches that you acquire and you do whatever you do with them, sustain your life, invest them, and things like that. You're doing that. But it's this level of immaturity, not well thought out, not well planned, but you're doing. Okay. Feeling good. The next card is the Six of Cups. And the Six of Cups points to your day-to-day routine, Aquarius, and everything that you connect with from day to day to do what you do. What do? You go get the money, you invest the money, you spend the money, however. Whether you got to go to a job and get the money, you got to street hustle and get the money. I don't know, you're an entrepreneur and go get that money. And then how you spend it to sustain your life or maintain your quality of life that you desire. However you do that. The Six of Cups talks about the state of nostalgia. Again, missing the mark. The Six of Cups here, it corresponds with the portion of the opening part of my video where I talked about dopamine hits. The Six of Cups represents that dopamine hit. It feels good when you've had sex. What was the dopamine hits? Dopamine triggers. What were the triggers that trip dopamine hits? There are sex, cheating and adultery. It was drugs and alcohol, partying, gambling. What else was it? It was social media and attention, And so what are the tarot cards saying thus far? It's saying, okay, Aquarius, now you're just a little bit too confident and feeling in control when the truth of the matter is you are missing the fear signal. Many people in this world, you're missing the fear signal. Why? Because you done took so many dopamine hits in your life that your threshold, that's the word I was thinking, trying to think of, your threshold for the alarm to go off, that fear alarm to go off, is so heightened that you're not ever getting up there and you feel so good. And the truth of the matter, when it comes to your resources, Aquarius, the way you get the means in which you go get your money or your resources, how you spend your money, how you invest your money or not, because it's not saving is an immature way of dealing with money. Say, hey, it's like you too lackadaisical when it comes to your resources, or you're not being a good steward. You're not being a good steward over your finances, Aquarius. You're not. You're not being a good steward over your finances. And the reason is why? Because of them dopamine hits. So you basically at this place where you don't understand there's a potential threat. What kind of threat am I talking about? Keeping with our real live current events of economic collapse or something like that. If not even an economic collapse, we're talking about extremely high taxation. We're talking about extremely high cost of living. It's coming. While right now, Aquarius, you blowing money. But back to your motto is I know. See, you think you know that you got everything under control the way you're moving. But the reality is you don't have everything under control because you're not being alerted at our reality and what is the fine, intricate details that are taking place to help you know exactly what you should be doing with your money. You're missing the mark. You're missing the thrust. You're missing the alarm because what? Your threshold's too high. Your last card, Aquarius, is the Five of Swords in reverse, pointing back to the Four of Swords. And the Four of Swords talks about, hey, taking time to just relax and to contemplate, to breathe, to meditate, to supplicate, and do all that kind of stuff to process before going into action. You know, so with the Five of Swords is saying it's okay. A lot of Aquariuses, a lot of people in society are missing the instabilities that are occurring in the world. When dealing with the Five of Swords, the swords parts, we're talking about the social constructs. We're talking about all the people that uphold the social constructs. It's like you're not seeing the deficiencies that exist right before your eyes as you intermingle with, different businesses and organizations, et cetera, et cetera. The whole thing is like you're more focused on yourself, Aquarius, or the individual, more focused on yourself and not looking at the overall picture. And when I say the overall picture, it's a puzzle and all the different components of it. Example, like what's happening in this sector of society or in this construct, what's really occurring, because that's where the clues are that are being communicated or signaled to you that you're missing. So for Aquarius, the first things first is you got to stop taking all the dopamine hits so that you're, number one, you're dependent on the dopamine hit, the way the cards are suggesting. So you got to lower that threshold. That means you're going to have to deny yourself some things, whether it's love, being in love, jumping from one relationship to the other. You got to stop. Why? So you can lower your, what they call it, your chemical levels, the dopamine chemical levels in your body. They're part of your body. And so you won't have to, it's not like an outside drug that you got to break away from, walk away from, not go around the same people, so you won't take that drug. No, this chemical is inside of you. So it's going to take, again, not jumping from relationship to relationship, not be attention seeking on social media, posting all the pictures of you and your dog and your food looking, fine and getting all the likes. You're going to have to, release fame for fame's sake. If you have a level of prestige, it has to be for the people or something like that. Other things you have to do is, again, not being in love for love's sake, jumping from one relationship to another, or being adulterous, or what else was the thing? Eating that chocolate. The chocolate. Oh my God. And this is, are we out of Taurus yet? No, we're not out of Taurus. See, this is the season of Taurus. Well, indulgence. Indulgence. Got to let go of the gambling, Aquarius. I don't know if you having them spades games or bid whist games or you going to your casinos. You got to let it go, or you should let it go in order to do what? Lower the dopamine and, levels in your body, so that when you're interacting in this world, your alarm will go off once the dopamine level come down and you're out interacting in the world and some real weird, strange, unexplainable stuff happen. You're going to be alerted. And then then what you must do in order to prepare yourself for any, I don't want to be fatalistic, challenging scenarios that will soon unfold. Okay. The next zodiac sign is Capricorn. All right, Capricorn, your motto is I use. Let's see what the tarot card suggests in store for you. Okay. Your first card, Capricorn, is what? This is the Eight of Cups in reverse, pointing back to the Seven of Cups. Oh, Capricorn. For you, there are or is a partnership contract that you're in, whether that partnership contract is professional or romantic. You're really attached to this other party. It is this other party is the reason why you're connected with it, because you feel like that other party can offer you what you need in this world in order to have a support system, emotional security, that security blanket. And the Eight of Cups suggests that you refuse to move away from it. You're dependent upon it. You're dependent upon it. And so back to your motto. Your motto is I use. You use this other party, this partner, whether business or professional, to offer you comfort, to be a security blanket. The theme is fear. It's like holding on. I ain't gonna jump the gun. I'm gonna let it alone. Read the card. The next card is the Ace of Swords. The Ace of Swords is in reverse, so it talks about or suggests there's a blockage in the thought process. You don't even want to think about it, or in communications. You may not very well speak to this person, this other party. You may not very well have a reciprocal flow of, again, communion or communication with them. There's some type of blockage there with this other party. The next card is the Ten of Swords, Capricorn. As the Ten of Swords talks about, feeling your ego being defeated. Remember earlier on we talked about the id. So this is somebody who possibly, going back to the id, is about survival. This person helps you. They're your security blanket in a way that they help you survive. I'm talking about instinctual sex. This is somebody that know how to put it down and satisfy you, Capricorn. So you feel, now that you're not communicating or interacting or having this exchange, you are suffering from fear. Why? Because your security blanket is missing. You're cut off from your security blanket. And with the Ten of Swords, is saying your ego, your id, actually feels totally devastated, traumatized, even. Let me see, because that id covered, and the id is about pleasure. It don't want no pain. We talked about that earlier. So your id is suffering pain, and that's totally against its desire, its nature. It's unwanted. So talking about the id, this part of you, you gotta go back and rewatch the opening of this video or the introduction of this video where I talked about the id, because this is the part of you that's hurting or feeling threatened. It is a source of bodily needs and wants, emotional impulses and desires, especially aggression and the libido or the sex drive. So that's the part of what Capricorn is feeling very uncomfortable and hurt at this time, as self-esteem may be low at this time. Your last card, Capricorn, is the Four of Wands. Your happy place has been moved. Your comfort zone has been removed. Your security blanket is missing. The Four of Wands is in reverse, pointing back to the Three of Wands. And the Three of Wands talks about when that ship came in. What ship? That other party that satisfies you sexually, or that other party that, helps you or joins you in participating in what you desire, or is how whatever that other party brings that fulfills your wants, your emotional needs, your emotional impulses, your desire, your libido is missing. But before it went missing, you had it with the Three of Wands. And most Capricorns, you waited and you searched and waited again for that particular ship, that party, that one that complements and resonates with who you really are, so you could be free to really be who you wanted to be. Came in and you partaken in it, and you became dependent upon them. They became your security blanket, and now you're cut off from them, inciting what? Fear of the id. So, what can I say? Capricorn, In order to alleviate the fear that you're suffering at this time, you might very well need some real professional help. And I say that because Capricorn, your ruling planet is Saturn, and Saturn is synonymous with Satan, and Satan is synonymous with our indulgence in this physical world. Therefore, Capricorns, you could be very well dealing with some form of addiction, whether it's drugs or alcohol. You need professional help. Or anger, because the id is upset that is feeling pain when it wants pleasure. So that's why I think that you need to use, rather than a security blanket that allows you to do whatever you want, you need to use professionals' help to help you heal from your addiction or addictive personality, which in this case shows that you are dependent. I hope that makes sense. On to the next. Trying to move along. Don't want this to be too long. What come before Capricorn, Sagittarius? Okay. Sagittr. Hopefully that's right. Okay, Sagittarius, your motto is I seek. Let me shuffle the cards so we can see what the tarot card suggests in store for you. Remember, the primary theme here is fear. And I know y'all saying, don't nobody bring me no bad news. I know y'all saying it like fear. It's in the stars. So I'm going to bring it over here to the tarot. And if y'all making any comments, I can't see it because of the way my boards are set up. I will take a break midway, and I will look at the chat to see if there's any chat. But thank you for coming here to Can Angels Fly, Tarot, and more. All right, Sagittarius, your first card is the King of Swords. The King of Swords is in reverse. Now, King of Swords is a representative for our air signs. Our air signs are Geminis, Libras, and Aquariuses. It is also the traits of being able to masterfully socialize and have social exchanges and engagements with others. It is, when I say it, I'm talking about the King of Swords, the swords itself. It talks about the ability to be able to communicate effectively, to comprehend, to what do you call it? Like speak effectively, persuasively, and different things like that. Be an emotional, motivational speaker. So it has all to do with our capabilities when it comes to socialization. Okay, on all levels. Anyway, the king is an active figure. He's actively engaging in communicating. He's actively, or he or she is actively engaging in socializing, and being very effective, being like a leader. However, the king is in reverse. Therefore, it suggests that someone, possibly you, Sagittarius, may be displaying some of the negative qualities of the air signs. The negative qualities of Gemini are to be, you can be sarcastic when it comes to air signs. You can be sarcastic, as you have your exchanges with others or communicate with others. You could be witty. You can be kind of emotionally cold and shut off, very dry. Everything you say could be absolutely correct, but it's the energy behind it. Dry, emotionalist, that kind of thing. Arrogant, negative qualities again of the air signs, which are Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. The next card is the Judgment card. Well, the Judgment card suggests that this is the appropriate time or season for Sagittarius to make a final decision about something. Possible social connections, social connections that you have. And what I'm seeing at this point for Sagittarius is that Sagittarius, you have been participating in a social circle or network that, you know, you are one of several members and you are a part of that network because you want something from them and you feel like you got something to offer. But whatever's been taking place in this social circle that I speak of, you've gotten to the point where you may feel like you are far more superior than they are because seem to be speaking to them like they're children, or you've lost respect for them. Okay. So you're getting kind of ugly in your scenario, in your circle. Getting kind of ugly. The Judgment card said the time has come, Sagittarius, for you to make a decision. Either you're going to decide that you are truly, you've outgrown this social circle that you have been participating in as a member. You've been outgrown. And then it's time for you to release that group, remove yourself from that group, and go elsewhere. Find something else to do. Find another group to join. You know, you're now outgrown. Because, I don't know, I got to finish reading the cards, but if you stay in that group and you keep being arrogant and narcissistic, feeling like you've outgrown them or you're better than them, speaking to the other members in a way that will show them that you think you're like better than them, there's going to be repercussions, you know? So you got to make a decision. So what? Got to use your model now. I seek. What you may very well be seeking at this time or soon is a new social group, a new social network. Anywho, your next card is the Sun card. Ooh, there's going to be repercussion. The Sun card is in reverse. Now, the Sun card talks about your personal power, the power of authority, your level of vitality and stamina and strength and power is in reverse, suggesting that there's going to be repercussions. If you stay in the current social circle you're in, the network, and you're supposed to be equivalent or equal or on the same footing as the rest of the members, and you keep, suggesting that you're better than them in some way, you're more powerful than them, then they're going to turn against you, Sagittarius. It's going to be repercussions. And the repercussions are going to be hit you so hard that your Sun is going to turn in reverse, meaning you ain't going to beat that authority that you think you are. You're not going to be able to maintain the kind of power you think you have in this group. They going to break you down. What they call it, break your rank down. They're going to break you down. So it's this kind of scenario, the king against the kingdom. See, as the king, Sagittarius, you're not being righteous. You're not being humble. And so the rest of the kingdom, you the 1% of Sagittarius in this case, in this scenario. And the other members, the kingdom is the 99%ers. So it's going to be the kingdom or the 99%ers against you, Sagittarius, the one king. And they're going to turn on you. And they're going to diminish your light by force. So the time has come. The next card and your last card is the Six of Wands. And the Six of Wands talks about your day-to-day routine and everything you got to do in order to, meet the demands of life, man, and a God, or yourself, or the kingdom. You got to do something. Wands talks about movement. You're going to have to make a move. You're going to have to get up and leave. It's once they get on your head. So the whole point is, while you're still in pretty good standing with this social group, go ahead and seek out an alternative social group. One that you fit in, that you feel like you are equal with the other members. Because most likely this group has to do with survival, your survival and well-being. The reason why I say that is because yesterday I did a live stream talking about what came up in the astrological energies. And at that time, it was talking about groupings of people coming together with a common interest. And that interest was on survival, securing their own violence, securing their own survival and well-being. Go find your group of more brilliant people, to be amongst, and in that way, you again, I cannot thinking of the appropriate word, but you'll all be equivalent. You'll be the same, you'll be complementary to each other. If you do not, and you continue to be on this high horse within this community or tribe or a social network or circle that you are presently in, and then the 99%, the other members, are going to turn on you, and they're going to diminish your light and your sense of power and authority, and then they're going to kick you out with the Six of Wands. So it's totally up to you. All right. Before Sag, this man is a Scorpio. Excuse me. Haven't made it to the halfway mark yet to check the chat. I will. Thank you once again for coming here to Can Angels Fly Tarot and more. Scorpio, I don't think I said it. Your motto is I desire. We're going to consult the tarot cards to see what they suggest is in store for you. Okay. Your first card, Scorpio, is the Two of Swords. Making a choice. Making a choice. For you, Scorpio, it's about making a choice. You make a choice. Either you're trying to balance something. Balance what? Your tongue, and how you communicate with a person or, others outside of yourself, or how you socialize with them, or you're going to have to make a choice. So this Two of Swords immediately suggests that whomever you're keeping company with, you don't feel completely comfortable with really saying your mind or your piece. You feel like you have to be kind of selective about what you say. You have to be selective about the body language you use around them, or you have to be selective about what other company you keep when you're in a company with this other, and so either you're constantly trying to balance it. You got to, even though you're uncomfortable, you're still doing it. Or you may have moved to this space where you have to choose, like who to socialize with and when, what to say to another over, and just release the rest, it's something like that. The next card is the Six of Swords in reverse, pointing back to the Five of Swords. Yeah, what? The Five of Swords. The Five of Swords talks about instabilities in one's social circles or networks, meaning everybody not getting along. There could be some arguing, some bickering. There's going to be some inconsiderate folks and things like that, but not wanting to move away from the scenario or the small social circle, that unit. So it seems like you do have to make a choice because something is occurring in your intimate small social circle or some network circle that you are a participant in. And yes, it has, guess what? The relationship between the members or the participants can get shaky sometimes. Again, folks can be really inconsiderate. The environment is always changing. But you have no interest in literally leaving that small social circle. An example of small social circles that we usually don't leave is like the small social circle within our immediate environment. We usually don't just jump up and leave our communities because the environment can get unstable sometimes. We just change or I can't think of the word. We just try to change how we communicate with others. We become very selective about how we communicate with them, or we just try to balance, do that balance game. Or like an example, I only speak to this type of person about this, but nothing else. Another social circle, we're not quick to leave, or like when we belong to sororities or a fraternity. Once a brother and a sister, always a brother and sister, you're going to have to ride the wave. You're going to have to figure it out. Another one is literally brothers and sisters, siblings or cousins or aunts or uncles. You usually just can't abandon them or leave. You got to figure something out. Got to know, like with a family member, oh, don't bring up that time at the family picnic. Just don't do it. You get to that point, like, don't ever bring up that one family function that something occurred. Don't ever do it. Don't ever do it. So it's just coming to that, because with the Six of Swords, you're not leaving that small social circle. You're not. So the next card is the Page of Cups. And the Page of Cups is a young, youthful, inexperienced energy with the cup, with those relationships. Whether it's business, personal, or professional. Here, we're kind of talking about more personal relationships, like siblings, aunts, uncles, cousins, people in the community that you interact with or whatever, the sorority, the fraternity, brothers and sisters or something like that, and just how, kind of innocent in relationship to them. And I don't mean like, I'm talking about just like y'all all innocent little children interacting and engaging with each other on a emotional level, and you're very, your interactions are intimate. And so the page talks about that young, youthful, inexperienced. How do you know so much intimate stuff about others? How do you handle that kind of thing? What the other is sensitive about. So I think that going back to your motto, which is I desire, I think you are desiring understanding about, like, not crossing boundaries, not stepping on people's toes. You're afraid, like, to hurt somebody, because they ain't going nowhere and you ain't going nowhere. And so you're afraid. And I think that you desire, truly understanding the appropriate way to interact with them, to interact with each and every one of them on an individual basis and overall. Your last card is the Five of Wands in reverse, pointing back to the Four of Wands. Again, this is your crew, your tribe, your intimate small social circle. And this is a place that you have found much happiness and emotional support. This is where you find your security blanket. This is where you collaborate at, to get some preliminary ideas before you move out on action. But oftentimes the environment shifts and it changes. And it talks about this Five of Wands where people get to arguing, fighting, cussing, and doing all those kind of things. Again, instability amongst your desires, differences of desires and visions. Everybody going after something different. Not all the time are you on the exact same accord. And that's when the strife starts. That's when passions flare and things like that. And you're very aware of it. And it seems to me at this point in time, once again, Scorpio, you desire to truly have an understanding beforehand, because you already know what's going to come back. What's going to come back? The hostile environment amongst those that you frequent, that you love, that y'all ain't going nowhere. And you really don't want to perpetuate any more hurt or fear for yourself or for them. Now, I have to say this. Your reading, Scorpio, goes back into the last stream I made yesterday, which talked about in detail about the astrological energies for the time period of June, July, and August. And one thing that came up was about a group of people being together for the purpose of survival and maintaining the best quality of life, taking things into our own hands. And one of the things that I shared during that live stream is that survivalists and prepper groups, those people that come together, they weed out potential liabilities or weak links or people that have what they call it, deviating personalities that ain't gonna get together. The members that they allow to join and be a part are people that personalities complement each other. That people that are mature enough to get past, any hurdles whenever they crop up. What am I saying? I'm saying it's natural for people to have moments of spats and falling out. Um, but in order to maintain this club or group or intimate small social network, the people must be mature enough to be able to, be able to harness themselves and control their anger and their passions and their aggressions and get past it. Get past it. Not all people can do that. Some people become bitter and strifeful and want to fight. Da, 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 da. See, this is what your reading represents. That this part of society, this call on the part of society to be able to be cordial with others, to figure out a way, Hopefully that made sense. All right. Now I'm going into, what is it, Libra? All right, Libra, your motto is I balance. Let's see what the tarot card suggests is in store for you at this time. Remember, the theme is fear. Okay, Libra, your first card looks like the King of Wands. The King of Wands is in reverse. The King of Wands is a representative of our fire signs. Our fire signs are Aries, Leos, and Sagittarius. These are our people in the energy of being able to move forward on a cause, an aim, a passion, or a desire with full faith, knowing whatever you need along the way is going to be added unto you as you are in pursuit of that aim, passion, desire, aim. What else? Aim? You know what I'm saying? So, in this case, the King of Wands has come in reverse. So this suggests that you may be displaying some of the negative qualities of the fire signs, such as being highly aggressive, bossy, flamboyant, forceful, revengeful, violent, as you do what? Actively move forward on a cause, your aim, your ambition, or desire. You can be real bossy. You know what I'm saying? Whatever you need going to fall into your hands along the way. And you just as rude and cruel to people as you move forward. Okay? The next card is the Queen of Wands, and the Queen of Wands is upright. The Queen of Wands basically has the same meaning as the King of Wands. Two differences. Number one is that it's the Queen. So the Queen represents being highly receptive, paying attention to everything that's taking place around you. The other difference is that the Queen came in upright. Therefore, she represents the positive attributes of fire signs. Moving forward, culturally, as a role model, a great advisor, a persuasive person, moving forward on a cause, aim, passion, or desire. Another fact about these two cards is that they're counterparts. This is the Queen of Wands with her King of Wands and vice versa. They counterparts. They're two sides of a coin. This suggests that Libra, you are in a partnership with, or now the partnership can be personal, professional, or business. I don't know which role you play, Libra. You're one or the other. Either you're the king in reverse or you're the queen upright, one or the other. Whichever you are, then that your partner is the other. It's playing the role of the other. So what we have is two evenly yoked folks, both powerful. Each of you can move forward on a cause, an aim, a passion, and or desire with full faith, knowing that whatever you need along the way will be added along unto you as you are in pursuit of that what? Aim, passion, desire, or cause. Difference is, one of you are mean, bossy, and manipulative, while the other person is highly persuasive, cheerful, motivational. You know which one you are. So you move for, oh, wow, stop. Did I say your motto is our balance? I think I did. Right now, back to your motto. With your mantle being I balance, these tarot cards here, the King and Queen of Wands, suggest that you are attempting to balance yourself against your counterpart, against your partner, like not trying to lose yourself in them. Again, you're both as powerful. One is just more negative, one is negative, and one is positive. And it's like if you're the positive character, you're trying to make sure you can stay in integrity and stay positive, being persuasive and things like that, and charming and things like that, without losing yourself to that other, the negative side, becoming more ruthless and bossy. If you are the negative character and you are bossy, flamboyant, aggressive, well, guess what? Then you have no interest in losing yourself to the other side, to that more persuasive and charismatic side. No, you're going to do it your way, which is what you mean to do it your way. Aggressive, forceful, violent, emotionalist, that kind of thing. That's the balance. Trying to stay in integrity. Okay. All right, Libra, your next card is the Ten of Pentacles. Make it happen. Making it happen with the Ten of Pentacles. Because the Ten of Pentacles talks about reaching that goal, that ambition, that aim, or that passion is materializing in reality. It is achieving all that you set out to. It is being in pursuit. It is obtaining. It is about maintaining and sustaining anything that you presume that you need in your life or your lives, because it's two of you, to have a sense of physical, worldly security and stability. You get it. Yeah. Fear is the theme. We'll see how it ties in. The next card is the Ten of Wands. And the Ten of Wands talks about having to carry all the responsibilities and duties associated with everything you got to do as you pursue that aim, passion, or desire. I don't know what the works are that you have to do because it depends on the goal, the aim, ambition, or desire. But whatever it is, you got to do it all. Whether you got to stay up late, you got to go to bed early, you got to balance checkbooks or balance or analyze invoices. You got to do it all. If you got to take care of the kids, you got to rock a baby on the lap over here. You got to do all the multitasking stuff and be writing over here and calculating. You got to bear all the responsibilities and duties associated with your journey, including the other. So let me try to give you an example of what I mean here. Now, remember, one of y'all is really charismatic, smooth operator. Well, the other can be fierce and aggressive. You have to deal with each other. The smooth operator has to stay in integrity and stay that smooth operator without being improperly influenced by the other. That's maintaining the balance, staying in your integrity. But at the same time, you still going to have to deal with the repercussions of a person that can act so aggressively, so cutthroat. You're still going to have to what? Ten of Wands. Deal with all of that and whatever comes with it, because somebody could come after them, but that's your partner. This person is literally your partner in crime. This is your Bonnie to your Clyde. You know what I'm saying? You are counterparts at this point in time. And vice versa. The one that's vengeful and harsh and critical is trying to stay in integrity. They want to be like that. They believe that they need to be fierce in this world to get the job done. They're going to try to maintain balance, meaning staying in their integrity. That's how they want to do things. But at the same time, they got the Ten of Wands too. They got to take on all the responsibilities and duties associated with doing work with you, because you are sweet and a smooth operator. You may, because of your behavior and how you move forward, your mode of operation is going to may spark some scenarios to come about that the other don't take kindly to. Like you might give a discount. The other don't give a discount. Well, they have to honor the discount because y'all equal partners and you gave it out. You know what I'm saying? Now, interesting. Remember the framework for this is the fear. Now, Libra, your reading seems to be jumping a little deeper than I thought this particular reading would go. At the beginning of this video, during the introduction portion, I introduced the concept of the ego and one of its three parts, which was the id. There are two other parts to the ego as defined by Sigmund Freud. And so that's what I'm talking about right now. It's necessary. Sigmund Freud defines or describes the ego to have three parts. The first part, as mentioned, is the id. The next part is the ego. And the third part is the superego. I personally believe that your tarot reading, Libra, embodies the two parts of the ego. Not all three, but two. I believe the Queen of Wands is a representative of the superego. That is a person that, or not a person, the entity, the superego, that understands the necessity, I don't know if I'm saying this right, for each individual in this world to be humble, to contribute their portion, to believe that it's about like equilibrium and harmony is required in order for this world, for us in this world, cohabitating on this planet, to move forward successfully. Meaning you're not trying to hoard nothing. You ain't trying to beat somebody over the head and take it from them. Everybody needs their portion with the super ego. And I think the Queen of Wands represents somebody that is more in their higher self. In short, in their higher self. While the other person is more of the id. They are working from instinct, from the, what they call it, the grit. They work from the grit. You know, they're real raw with it, which is the id. That's the survival, instinctual, instinct, motivated by instinct and trying to get to the pleasure point and stuff like that. And can be, kind of cutthroat, and that's the King of Wands in reverse. So it's the id versus the superego, and trying to maintain the balance. And the balance, based on Sigmund Freud, is the actual ego. And the ego itself talks about, and I'm going to read it from Wikipedia because I still got the page open. So why not? If I can find it. The ego. Right now, I'm about to read from, this is Wikipedia, under the subject of the id, the ego, and the superego. I already talked about the id as the King of Wands in reverse. And I already talked about the superego, represented, I do believe, by the Queen of Wands. Now I'm going to talk about the ego, the middle ground. The ego acts according to reality principle. Reality principle. It seeks to please the id's drive in a realistic way that in the long term brings benefits rather than grief. At the same time, Freud concedes that as the ego attempts to meditate between the id and reality, it is often obliged to cloak the unconscious commands of the id with its own preconscious rationalizations. Might have been, took us a little too deep, but I'm gonna keep going. To conceal the id's conflicts with reality, to profess, to be taken notice of reality, even when the id has remained rigid and unyielding. The reality principle that operates the ego is a regulating mechanism that enables the individual to delay gratifying immediate needs and functions effectively in the real world. An example would be to resist the urge to grab other people's belongings, but instead to purchase their own. Let's see how much more. Ooh, that's long. They really went into detail about the ego. One more paragraph about the ego, because I think that's the middle place, the balance. The ego is the organized part of the personality structure that includes defensive, perceptual, intellectual, cognitive, and executive functions. Conscious awareness resides in the ego, although not all of the operations of the ego are conscious. One more. Originally, Freud used the word ego to mean a sense of self, but later revised it to mean a set of psychic functions such as judgment, tolerance, reality testing, control, planning, defense, synthesis of information, intellectual functioning, and memory. Let's see. The ego separates out what is real. It helps us to organize our thoughts and make sense of them and the world around us. So I'll let it go. Of course, feel free to visit Wikipedia under the subject of ego, id, and super ego in order to read on. I won't, bother you with the rest. But what am I saying? I'm saying, hey, it seems that Libra, during this time period, you are attempting to find a balance between you and another. And it is about the ego. You two are evenly yoked. There are some differences. One person is fueled by the state of the id, which is a part of the ego, where another person is fueled by the super ego or within their higher selves. One person may be in their lower self, other person in the higher self. And it's to find a balance between, for you two to find a balance. And that balance, I do believe, is the ego. So that's why I asked you to research it. But the good news is the card suggests that you and this other will obtain your goals. Very good, very good, very good. All right. Whew. Lord have mercy. I'm going to have to do it like this. Okay. I'm going to do it like this. But I will have no way of knowing if I wrote it. Okay, I think it's there. I'll see. All right, now at this time, I'm going to take a break and I'm going to go over to see if there has been any chatting in the chat. And all this time, it has not. YouTube ought to be ashamed of itself. Well, Lisa, I hope I'm recording. Okay. I had to refresh the page. There is some chatting in the chat. Hello, Faith Angel. How are you? You say good afternoon, sis. How are you? I'm pretty good, pretty good. Hopefully all is well with you. Asia Nicole, hello once again. You made a comment last night, and I was like, hot dang it, I didn't see it. What was it? Because I wanted to say something, and I forgot it. But I did read the chat, and I saw what you said. I just can't remember. You know me. Dealing with them old people things. Okay. All right. I guess it's time to move forward. No matter what time of day, YouTube will not allow me no audience. All right. Virgo. Hey, it's 4 o'clock already. Okay. I'm going to try to be done by 5. Stop being so dramatic. Virgo, your motto is I analyze. So let's see what the tarot card suggests in store for you. The theme of this reading is about fear. Oh, I liked it. What I didn't say about Libra, there's no fear. If you can find a middle way, if you can find a middle way. There's no fear that you will not succeed. There's no fear of scarcity. That's what Libras represent. That's somebody want to bang. All right, Virgo, let's see what the cards says in store for you. First card, we have the Two of Swords that has come in reverse for you. The Two of Swords points back to the Ace of Swords. The Ace of Swords represents the onset, the urge, the desire to seek companionship, social networking, information, I say communication, you know, and really not having an option before you. The next card is the Judgment card. Right now is the time, Virgo, to make a definite decision. You know, definite decision, meaning focus. I think this tarot cards are really saying focus. You know, analyze your current situation. Back to your motto. Your motto. I analyze. I believe that at this point in time, you are called or prompted to analyze your reality in relationship to your social network circle, small social network, people that you frequent, a community, a tribe, a survivalist group, a preppers group. It said, hey, analyze it. I believe that many Virgos will look around and they won't see that they really have a small social group that they can depend on. Example, survivalist group, prepper group, meaning preparing for a possible catastrophe within your immediate environment, like an economic collapse or I don't know, they don't have gas anymore or food shortage, you know what I'm saying? A hard winter without gas or in a shortage of foods. Are you going to be able to survive such a scenario by yourself? You know what I'm saying? Are you? And then I say in the cards, say, hey, look around, Virgo. I think many of you are going to find that when you really look around, you ain't got a crew, a tribe that you can depend on to get through what? Any difficult or challenging times or calamities or something like that. So the Judgment card say right now, right here, at this point in time, is the time to make a decision, you know, about what? Maybe some folks you need to cut off or limit your exposure to. And maybe it is time, Judgment card, to really, lock arms with others that, are a part of your immediate environment. Y'all have a concern about your environment striving, the people in your community striving and making it through any challenging times. An example of this could be like a community garden. You come together and say, oh, Lord, we ain't been able to really get access fresh fruit in our community. Maybe I can, are the people I'm around interested in that? It may not be. So the cards are saying maybe you should start a community garden, start a membership to do what? Work collectively on a community garden, because you might just need that community garden to help feed the people in your location if anything goes soft in your reality. The next card is the King of Wands, not the King of Wands, the King of Swords in reverse. The King of Swords is a representative of our air signs. Our air signs are Gemini, Libras, and Aquariuses. These are our people that are masterful in socializations and communications. However, the King has come up in reverse, therefore suggests that a person, possibly you, Virgo, may display some of the negative qualities of the air signs. Negative qualities of the air signs is that they can be emotionally detached from those that they interact and socialize with. They could be know-it-alls or something like that. But the thing of it is the King is actively involved. And so I think the cards are saying that you as a person that may become awakened to possible threats. Why might you be awakened? You may have a fear. A fear might be triggered. You might see a shortage in your community of what? Gas or food or whatever. And it awakens you. And then you look around and say, nobody else is paying attention, or who else is paying attention? You may set out to be the leader or the, proprietor, I think, of an establishment, of a group, of a survivalist group, of a preppers group, or a community network, block club or something. And so you may have this arrogance about you because you are the first one that became awoke King of Swords. And so you're actively moving forward, knocking on doors, sending letters saying, let's build this group. This is why, this is what I observed. And I think it would be wise of us to come together to do X, Y, and Z to offset any potential or possible uh, instabilities that may occur in our reality. So you can be kind of arrogant. Okay. Your last card, Virgo, is the Knight of Wands. The Knight is a warrior going out to fight for an aim, a cause, a passion, and or desire. This is a person that campaigns. And so what am I saying? I'm saying that there are going to be those that come to you, Virgo. You are going to possibly be, I don't know what it's called, but prioriter. I can't think of the word. That might be it. But you're going to establish, many Virgos will establish a group, a social network, a team. You'll be a team lead. And it's all about securing your sense of physical, worldly security and stability. And there are going to be those that follow. Those that follow. The cards, again, does show that you will elude a level of arrogance, or feeling like you know it all. Why? Because you were the first one that brought it up. You might be the first one that wakes up in your family or the first one that wakes up in your community, and you do the call or rally, and there's going to be responders that come that have been interested in this same, area, or they have had concerns about the same thing, and they're going to come running. They're going to be proactive and ready to move. I think there's a warning here for Virgo, and I don't remember which one it was, but stay humble. Stay humble. You're not smarter than these others. You're not more aware than these others, because remember, they already had these awarenesses and concerns. They just didn't move to build the network. So that's you. Anyway, back to your motto, talks about our analyze. What you will be doing is looking around at this current time within your immediate environment, looking and noticing that there are those that are awake and there's those that are asleep. There are those, you're also going to analyze that there's a need, that something is awry and you got to prepare. That's what you're going to analyze and find out and move to what? Set up something, a grouping network that is about preparing a way to offset any difficulties. Hope that makes sense. Okay. Virgo is 6, so I'm going to do Leo. Leo, your motto is I will. And the theme surrounding this particular tarot reading is fear. If you're just coming on, I invite you to go watch the introduction, which is about, I guess, 30 minutes long, to understand why the theme is fear. At this time, I'm going to shuffle the cards so that I can look at them and see what the card suggests is in store for you. Okay. Leo, your first card is this Ten of Pentacles? Yeah, Ten of Pentacles in reverse. The Ten of Pentacles in reverse really suggests to me that many Leos have been spoiled. The king or queen has been spoiled in their life. But at this point in time, they may find it challenging to maintain, sustain the quality of life they've grown accustomed to. Like you might be, challenged with keeping those car notes paid and afraid of a repo or what do you call it? You pay a foreclosure on a house. It's just getting difficult. Maybe you can't go shop as much as you usually did with the Ten of Pentacles. Now, you've had all of these treasures in the world. You've experienced them. You really have indulged. But again, the current events and that we find ourselves dealing with and seem to want to continue to unfold has created a lot of, again, challenges in maintaining those treasures. Whether it's high taxes, more taxes paid out, more, I don't know, it just depends on the fine details to your story, Leo, but you could be paying higher taxes. You could be paying more to your employees, more in health insurance. And so it's cutting down your profit margin. You could, again, be a person that was a shopper or a fashionista or something like that. high maintenance, and you find that you aren't able to, maintain that level of indulgence or something like that. The next card is the Ten of Swords, and you're not taking kindly to it, as the Ten of Swords suggests that your ego is being defeated. Fear is the theme here. Fear, you're afraid. That id is taking a hit. It's about the quality of life, the being able to pacify your physical worldly wants, needs, urges, and desires. And it's, you'd have had it before. It's one thing not to have had something. You can't, what they say, you can't miss what you ain't had. But with Leo, you'd have had it. You'd have had it. You'd have enjoyed it. You know how good it is. And you ain't never had a thought of having to release it. And now you have. Or it's constantly challenging. Constantly challenging. So the Ten of Swords talks about how the id, the ego, has really been taking a hit with the Ten of Swords, and how you feel defeated. You may be feeling down, kind of, weak, and almost like it's a tragedy, really tragedy-like. I feel a little drama surrounding this, Leo. I really don't think you're taking this time period well, and these hurdles. You don't appreciate them, not at all. The next card is the Nine of Cups, and the Nine of Cups is reverse pointing back to the Eight of Cups, and the Eight of Cups talks about obsession. You have obsessed, Leo. You have had this obsession or this compulsion to indulge, to attach what you attach to what you presume that you need to what? Pacify your physical worldly wants, your needs, your urges, and desires. And what? You have gotten them before. But now, as easily as it has been for you to tap in and indulge in times past, you currently find it increasingly difficult with the Nine of Cups. All of those hopes and wishes and desires that you have are going unfulfilled and have become merely desires and obsessions. Fear, the fear brought on by scarcity. Your last card is the Tower card. And all I heard when I seen this Tower card was this. Please, y'all, I got to say this is profanity. This mother effer, I didn't even do it. See, I cleaned it up. This Tower card. The Tower card represents an outside force, a hidden hand, leading to your demise, to your unhappiness, to your inability to fulfill yourself. What is going on? Oh, Leo will say, is this mother? Who is it? Is it a malevolent hand? Malevolent, invisible hand you can't see from the spiritual world? Or is it the powers of this world? The Tower card focuses on whomever that is, that hidden mechanism that is leading you not to be able to live your best life, to be comfortable, to be worry-free, to be fear-free. Your motto is I will. Keeping in mind your motto, it seems like you are trying desperately to will the good life back. You are trying to will yourself into a space where you can enjoy all the treasures and pleasures of this world like you once had without them being interrupted. But due to the hidden hand, you haven't been able to. And as mentioned, at this time, you're not taking kindly to it. So what can I say about this time period? It seems a little frustrating for the spoiled Leo. It does. Or for the king or queen. It seems like a frustrating time period. Because what this time period is requiring you to do is to minimize your lifestyle. Turn down. In order to what? Offset the fear and the frustration associated with not having enough or lack. This time period also prompts you to prioritize what's important. What's important, like purchases and different things like that. The type of food, maybe rather than eating, I don't know a name, bread, you may want to eat a three-stripe bread. I don't even know if they have three-striped bread. When I was a kid, they had the cheap three-stripe bread, and they had the name brand bread, like Wonder Bread. Maybe you can't eat the Wonder Bread. Prioritize. You got to eat the three-stripe bread as an example. And so it's those type of changes that this time is prompting you to make. And why? In order to help you alleviate the stress that you are currently under and the sense of scarcity. Being afraid of, is not scarcity, but being afraid to minimalize or become a minimalist, because that's what is invoking fear in you. Oh, that makes sense. All right. What's before Leo? Back is Cancer. All right. Cancer, excuse me. Your motto is I feel. After I shuffle the cards, I'm going to read them to see the cards of justice in store for you. Remember, the theme here is fear. If you want to know why fear is a theme, please watch the introduction to this video. It's about 30 minutes long. And I thank each and every one of you once again for coming over here to Get Angels Fly, Tarot, and more. And hanging out with me. Yes. All right, Cancer. Cancer, your first card is the High Priestess. She's in reverse. She says, okay, Cancer, I'm not going to tell you the answer. It's a mystery or a secret that is present, is currently active. I'm not going to tell you the answer. You're going to have to live out these unfolding life experiences and see if you can see it for yourself. See if you can find the gems yourself. See where your level of discernment is at. Let's see. The next card is the Four of Pentacles. The Four of Pentacles talks about a state of going back into what is the state of being content or not complacent, content, but being in an okay place. You're all right. You may not be living the lime life, and you may not but you may not be living the lime life, but you sure enough ain't in poverty. You're all right. You got a meal every day, 3 balanced meals a day. You got a roof over your head. The bills is paid. You're okay with the Four of Pentacles. And because you are okay and accepting that you are okay, you live in a humble life, your emotional state should be calm. Mm-hmm. The next card is the Seven of Wands, pointing in reverse to the Six of Wands. The Six of Wands talks about the day-to-day routine and all that you do that have to pacify the demands of life and of man and of God as you move to pursue your aims and ambitions and desires. What do you got to do? What do you got to do? Well, the Seven of Wands talks about the active partnerships that, participating in, pulling back out of or not forging new partnerships. Can't put no more on your plate. Your motto is I feel. I believe that Cancer, you feel at this point in time, you're carrying all that you can carry. There's nothing else that you can carry, not responsibly. Your plate is full. You are caring for that which is of importance to you, to the best of your abilities. You can't carry anymore, not responsibly. That's what it's saying. Mm-hmm. Whomever you are caring for, Cancer, this includes yourself and those up under your care, whoever they may be, whether children or ailing parents or whatever. You're a part of a family, tight, close-knit family unit. You're playing your role. You are contributing. You are, meeting the demand. And y'all are all okay. You're not living a fabulous life. You ain't popping bottles, but you sure enough ain't hungry or homeless. You got a roof over your head, 3 balanced meals to eat every day. You got water to quench your thirst. You're meeting all the requisites of life. You may be able to indulge a little bit in some of your urges and desires, just a little bit. Well managed, You're okay. High Priestess says it's a mystery. It's a secret that is present as you live out this life experience. But I ain't going to tell you what it is. Let's see if you can discern. And I think the discernment is, or the mystery that is present here, is that your inner emotional state. It's cool. It's that humble life. It's that humble life. Turn it down in order not to be stressed out about not having or want more. I think are you picking up the gem, Cancer? You feel, back to your model, I feel. Okay. I feel tranquil. I feel still. I'm not plagued with great fear. Why? Because I'm choosing to be very selective about what I prioritize as important in my life. And I make sure that those priorities are met. And it's like cutting away the unnecessary in order not to be anxious about, having more or trying to keep up with the Joneses or something like that. I'm also aware that I can't, as Cancer, take on no more. I have my personal responsibilities and duties that I must fulfill. And consciously, I know I cannot carry another or an extra credit card, extra debt, extra this or extra person or this, whatever the case may be. Just the details depends on, your story. But you're aware, not responsibly, you can't. The next card and the last card for you, Cancer, is the Empress in reverse, and it's a lack of abundance, of fertility. So that really just sums it up. It's saying, okay, when it comes to Cancer, you don't have to have that extra credit card and that extra credit line. You ain't got to eat lobster and crab and the shrimp. You can kind of downsize a little bit. Maybe you're going to eat some, sway, fish, or whatever. I don't know what your diet preference is. You may not try. You may choose, I'm not getting that beans or the Lexus. I'm going to hold off on that right now. I'm going to try that old hoopty, that Crown Vic out in the driveway that been paid off 5 years ago, and I done kept up all the maintenance. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna take care of my children, and my parents. We're gonna get our medicine. We won't be going to Jamaica this year. We're gonna get out in the yard and have a barbecue. So that's what the Empress in reverse represents, is not going overboard or keeping up with the Joneses. And the mystery here is that you will find that your emotional state is at peace. It's leveled out. You don't suffer fear. All right. Cancer number 3 is Gemini. All right, Gemini, your motto is I think. At this time, I'm shuffling the cards. Once I get through shuffling the cards, then I'll begin to read the cards. So we can see what the cards suggest is in store for you, Gemini. The theme for this tarot reading is fear. If you want to know why fear of all things is the theme, please go watch the introduction to this video, which is about 30 minutes long. It's at the beginning. Okay. Look at that. All right, Gemini. Your first card is, excuse me, the Moon card. Let's talk about the moon. Let's talk about the emotions and your feelings and your inner emotional state, even your psyche. What's going on? The moon upright suggests that Gemini, you may be quite aware of your inner emotional state. That's to say how you feel right now. How you feel right now after you lived out your very unique life experiences. You know how you feel. You know where your sensitivities are. You know where you might know what's going on in even your psyche. It just depends on how advanced you are, you know. And your psychic powers can be up. Your sense of discernment can be up at this time. The next card is the Four of Swords. It's in reverse, pointing back to the Three of Swords. So the Three of Swords points us to your intimate, small social circle, the people that you frequent. It could be siblings, aunts, uncles, cousins, people from your neighborhood or community. It could be a small social club, group, survivalist group, preppers group, a team, your tribe. Yeah. And within this little community or tribe, this grouping network, the environment fluctuates a bit. It's a healthy fluctuation. That's to say, 1 minute everybody getting along, and the next there's kind of some discrepancies, and y'all figure it out. So, natural flow. Anywho, Gemini, it seems like you are possibly participating within a network that works for you. You're complementary to them and them to you. You have shared interests and concerns. You all or each of you bring something to the table that is beneficial to the overall group's mission as well as to yourselves and on an individual basis. All that is great. And so you haven't given much more thought about something. It almost seems like you are like losing track of, like you are aware. How can you be aware of your moon, but dependent on the group? Next card. Ten of Cups. The Ten of Cups is reaching this place of emotional fulfillment and satisfaction. It's okay. It's okay. You got a support system, everything going well. The relations between you and the others is healthy. You know, it's the normal flow. You ride the wave together. It's this fulfillment. It almost seems like many Geminis are in a place where you can forget. And it's to forget about the moon. It's like you are consciously aware and present and in tune with yourself, your feelings, your sensitivities. But it almost seems like Gemini has the potential to get lost over time as life is good. You know, when life get good, you forget. You forget. That makes sense. You forget. Okay. You forget what you're sensitive about over time. What was that? About the traumas that and the scars and the wounds that we get over the course of our lives. And over as time goes on and progresses, the wounds and the severity of them and the existence of them fades off into the distance, to the back of our minds. They're still there. They're still there. And then we get in this space of life where we live in life, riding the wave of life, and especially in this one with you, Gemini, life is good. It's hopeful. You know, feel great, support system, everything's going well. You forget. You forget. Let's see. The last card. Oh, your motto is I think. You are thinking about this. You're making yourself aware that it's always this potential to forget the trials and the trials, the tribulation and the pain, and you can just give yourself over to the good times in life. I get it. Your last card is the Seven of Pentacles, and the Seven of Pentacles points to your partnerships or the partnerships that you establish. Oh, wow. in the course of your life. These partnerships can be business, professional, or personal. Did I say right? And the reason why, how did I say this? This Seven of Pentacles is talking about past. Well, this whole thing is talking about your life experiences, past, present, and future. You make the social connections, the bonds that you make based on your subconscious or unconscious space, that place of the hidden. So sometimes when you got to do some spiritual work, you beacon or call to you the appropriate partnership to help you live out that life lesson. So how can I say this? So for you, Gemini, it's talking about how you are aware. You are very much aware that you have the potential, as does anybody else, to forget or to, just forget about scenarios or life experiences that have, been traumatizing. They never heal, and they just end up drifting away into your subconscious. And you go on to live your life. And sometimes life gets good, really good. And you don't even think about those old pains, those old worries, those fears, or anything, but they're back there. And then time comes that as you move forward with life, you make these connections. And if you're in a state like you currently are, Gemini, which is aware of what's stored in your psyche and in your subconscious, and you are actively managing that part of you, which is the scars to the id and to the ego, then you can successfully, like you have been and you are doing, connecting to people that are support to you and you to them. But as time goes on, when life's so good because you've connected with the right people, them same old fears and concerns are still there. And if it's the moment that you forget that they're there, that they're actively, they're active in the subconscious, then as you move on with your life, you're still making more partnerships and more connections. But when you forget, and those little monsters back there infiltrate into your reality because you didn't stop watching them, you didn't stop managing them, then you're going to make a different type of partner, a different type of social connection. And it is possible then that's where you can get infiltrated, or you can invite in negative life experiences, negative social exchanges with others that throw you off from, a successful and, reasonably comfortable life journey. I hope I'm making it make sense. Remember, the theme is fear. So what you are doing, you are like aware of how the core of fear, you are aware of where it spins out from. And you've been tending to that part of you. In this video and in my previous live, we talked about the id, or the a part of the ego. You are aware of where these fears are cropping up from, And Gemini, you've been keeping your eyes on this aspect of your being. Not only have you been doing so, those that you keep company with, that you frequent, that have like minds, are also aware of where fear springs up from. And so y'all been keeping an eye on it. You've been doing what is necessary. Y'all been joining forces, making sure ain't nothing gonna catch y'all slipping. Y'all been taking care of y'allself and doing wonderful. But again, when times get good, as time goes on, there's the potential for what? To forget or to not manage that aspect of self. So, what was I saying? I forgot what was going on. I was talking so much. Anyway, fear. What was I saying? If once you forget, then you are susceptible to basically magnifying law of attraction to you what you may very well deem in reality negative experiences. And that's what you are aware of. That's what you've been thinking about, and that's what you're aware of. It's like you're trying to, at this time, you are, it ain't trying, you're doing, educating yourself and staying aware, staying alert, staying conscious. That's staying conscious. All right, Gemini. All right, Gemini, you number 3. Okay. Taurus. Taurus, your motto is I have. Let me shuffle the cards so I can see what the card suggests in store for you, Taurus. Remember, the theme for this particular reading is fear. If you want to know why the strange topic of fear is coming up, please watch the introduction to this video. It's like the first 30 minutes or so. All right, Taurus, your first card is the World card in reverse. All right, the World card in reverse is just you're in a reason. You're in a season, and a particular season or phase in your life for a reason. Right now is not the time for a change. You have to go ahead and live out the residual effects of past decisions and different things like that. Okay. The next card is the Ace of Wands. The Ace of Wands in reverse suggests that you sense that there's a blockage. It is blocking you from moving forward and advancing on your own personal aim, interest, passion, and or desire about what you want to do. You feel blocked. Why? Because you're stuck in the last scenario or phase that you started. You can't just abandon it. Again, you have to live out the residual effects of what you have done in the past. The next card is the Five of Pentacles in reverse, pointing back to the Four of Pentacles. And the Four of Pentacles talks about your inner emotional state as a direct result of your physical, worldly state. Have you been able to pacify your personal, physical, worldly wants, needs, and desires and urges? Have you? Have you? This Five of Pentacles, it suggests that you have not. You've been teetering on, loss, feeling devastated, sick. Again, it's like an example. It's like if a Taurus is a person that indulged in some type of substance, substance abuse, alcohol, drugs, sex, anything, that you can get addicted to, that you might enjoy rocking with. Does it make you feel good? It's pleasurable. It seems like you haven't been able to sustain it. Example is if you use a substance, you might not be able to keep up with your desire. You could do $100 a day or something, but you only can afford 10. So that's a lot of suffering there. That's $90 worth of suffering, that kind of thing. And so as a direct result, your inner emotional state is becoming off balance. Oh, my. Remember, the World card says you're in a process of going through and completing a prior phase you started. It's a season. Using your motto. I don't know if I said your motto is I have. For some Tauruses, it's possible that you have a dependency. You have an addiction. It could be addiction to shopping. It's just being able to partake in the treasures and the riches of this world. You could be addicted to sex, love. You could be addicted to people, places, circumstances, situations, substances. Oh my God, this physical realm. And so when you decided to get in a relationship with that person because they loved on you right, and you're still there right now, or you decided to take that hit of something for the first time and you're still there now, or you decided maybe one time in the course of your life you were free to go buy and not ask the price of something, and you got used to it. You got spoiled, and you're still there now, And our current circumstances, our current events that have been unfolding, of course, are showing, is providing signals and warnings to say, hey, cut down on the overindulgence, cut down, turn down, spend down, minimalize, da 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 da. But you can't. You're on fire. You're inflamed. I get it. And so the Ace of Wands is showing how you can't move forward. You can't stop. You can't stop wanting and longing and urging and desiring and lusting. It's just too good. And at this point in time, your inner emotional state is being affected towards why? Because you realize what you ain't being, you're not ready to let go. You ain't ready to stop. You don't want to stop, or you can't stop, whatever the case is. But you also can't pacify those urges, needs, and desires. At this point in time, Tauruses might feel, it might be unspoken, but you might be feeling like you're going crazy. You might be feeling like you're going crazy. And it's fear. It's fear. Remember the theme of this video he's reading is fear. What are you afraid of? Well, it seems to me that Tauruses are afraid of letting go. You're afraid of going to get the drug counseling and going into rehab. You're afraid of that pain because you don't want to let it go. It's pleasurable, or you got this dependency and got to deal with these spirits. It's that fear. The shopping. Oh, it's the fear of not being able to shop and being your fashionista or being a Jones, the gat. Because what? Then people might look at you and say, ooh, they done fell off. The fear of shame. Oh my God, the ego is going through it when it comes to Taurus. It really is. Anywho, your last card of Taurus is the Nine of Pentacles, the card of evaluating your beliefs. The nine corresponds with your highest level of understanding at this time as you move through this part of your life experience, and it's understanding what you want out of life. What do you want? Do you want to be plagued with fear? Do you want to be controlled by this substance or this whatever you're dependent on? Do you want to be controlled by that? Because that whatever it is that's controlling you is where your fear is coming from. And so it's just for Tauruses, you're going to have to be fearless. You don't have to be. But at this point in time, it seems like the spirit is trying to prompt you to be fearless, to what they call dig down in there and bring up the fearlessness. Because the Pentacles talks about your physical, worldly security and stability. Like, what's important to you? It's like, how can I say this? It's about physical, worldly fulfillment. What do you believe? How can I say this? Because this plays into something else. Physical, worldly fulfillment. In reality, or there's some hidden factors here. You are presuming that you can be satisfied if you can shop nonstop uncontrollably. You are presuming that you will be satisfied if you can take all the substances you want, and not have there be any end or limits or restrictions. You're presuming that in some way you can like be happy or physically fulfilled. That's a presumption. When there's a truth, the truth is that in this world, only you can pacify these urges, longings, and desires, the stuff we always want. You can only pacify them because they ain't never satisfied. They are, endless pits. So this is Nine Pentacles talking about. Really coming to understand. You can only pacify. Understand this. Nothing can be fulfilled. They can only be pacified. But that which can be pacified, most of them are bottomless pits. Understand that. That's what I'm saying. Now, the pinnacle say, what do you want out of this world, Taurus? Do you want to be held captive or enslaved by whatever your vice is? That because you can't fulfill it, you always going to be fraught with fear. Spirit is prompting you to be to access another spirit, and that spirit is that of bravery and fearlessness, and to do what? Do battle with your addictions. Release the substances, the drug abuse, the substance abuse. Release the shopping addictions, the gambling. Release it. Release that good old ensnaring puss or demon D. You know what I'm saying? Release it and be fearless. And then, once you downsize, which you will see, I'm not even saying the whole thing. Anyway, is an alleviation or deduction in your fear. Last one. Okay, last one. Is Aries. Okay. Aries, your motto is I am. I shuffle the cards. We're going to see what this card suggests is in store for you. Remember, the theme of this particular tarot reading is fear. If you want to understand why fear is the theme, please watch the introduction to this video, which is within the first 30 minutes or so. This one to fly out, so okay. I think it was going to end up on top anyway, but it demands to be seen. And what is this? This is the Fool. Fool card is upright. It says, okay. I just say your motto, Aries, your motto is I am. So now the tarot cards are starting to speak, and it says the Fool. The Fool, you could be the Fool at this time. Everybody plays the Fool at some point in time in their life. Anyway, the Fool represents a person that has a soul that has come and occupied an avatar and is moving forward through life, having its own unique life experiences. The Fool card suggests that a person has had a set of life experiences and have continued to live their life, and sometimes come across the same or similar life experiences and very well much knows how to handle them or knows what to expect. This person is not what's the word? They're not down. They're not sad. Ooh, what's the word I'm thinking about? Oh God, I don't think. What's the word? They let down, or oh God, I can't think. Word keep coming, but they're not let down by life. They've had life experiences. Disappointed. They're not disappointed with the Fool card. You're not disappointed. You didn't have some hard knocks. You didn't experience and witness some things that could have, just disappoint a person. But you're not disappointed. You believe in life. You move forward in life, and you have all the life experiences. You live in it now. You live in it now, and so you're moving forward, even though humanity is moving through a time period in which there is a lot of propaganda surrounding what fear. You're exposed to it too. You see it. Everything that has ever happened, you still believe in life, and you still stay optimistic as you move through your unfolding life experiences. Hope that makes sense. Your next card is the Queen of Wands, and the Queen of Wands is a representative of our fire signs of Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. This is also the traits of moving forward on a cause, aim, or a passion. In this case, we're talking about life. With full faith, knowing that whatever you need along the way, it's going to be allotted to you. And the Queen is highly receptive, meaning she's paying attention. You, Aries, are paying attention. Yes, You are paying attention to all the ills in the world, the propaganda, anything else that has come along. You ain't blind. You notice it, but it has not it has not made you get down or made you or led you to be a person that's disappointed or full of fear. No, you just keep on persevering. You stay very optimistic and positive, and you move forward. The Queen of Wands also represents having personal power. Personal power, that's important. Personal power, being in power or in control of yourself and your perspective and how you move forward through this life. I wasn't expecting this. Aries, very nice. So it's a self-empowered, a self-motivated person, very enthusiastic, positive, persuasive, leadership. I just get this image of somebody walking with their head really high. They are active in this life and everything. They like being a great role model for how this world or people in this world should be. That's what I'm picking up. The next card is the Two of Swords, and I know this Two of Swords have returned throughout this series of readings about 3 or 4 times. So it's very significant about making choices about who you socialize with. Anywho, here's the Two of Swords. How do you communicate? Who do you interact with? These are things that Aries is conscious about at this time. In order to be who you are, to do things the way you do it in such a positive and enthusiastic manner, you always got this in mind. How do I communicate with this person I'm interacting with? Or when I find myself in this social scenario, how do I engage for the best possible outcome? Like that. I like this. Your last card, Aries, it ends up manifesting beautifully for you. Oh, I love this. As the Ten of Cups talks about obtaining that emotionally fulfilling place, satisfying place, emotionally fulfilled, forging successful bonds and things like that. I gotta add your motto back. Your motto is I am. I, as Aries, as standing in intercession for Aries, keeping in mind your motto, which is I am, says I am. Dang, that takes so long, I forgot. I am again a representative for like the perfect human. I am the representative for the perfect human or a healthy human. And say that, even though a lot of what Aries, experience in this life is not all good. Some good, some bad, oftentimes it seems like there's more bad than good. And a person can get down because of what they experience or witness. However, Aries, I keep everything in perspective. And I manage me. I manage my direction. I manage who I commune with. I manage my mind. Meaning I'm not letting all the outside forces dictate who I am, how I feel, how I perceive or comprehend. Aries, I am in control of myself, is what it's saying. I'm sovereign over myself, that kind of thing. And I demand, I will continue to move forth enthusiastic and hopeful and positive. And I, governing myself, I'm going to be the best person I can be. I'm going to be a great leader if somebody needs to be led. I'll be a great advisor if somebody needs to be advised. I'm paying attention to everything. Basically, if I can get in somewhere and be helpful, I'll do it. But it's like Aries is saying, I don't have to have nobody else. I'm okay alone. I'm okay with people. But I'm going to do me. And I'm doing me from, again, this responsible, positive, fearless state. And I'm moving forward. I'm very conscious that I'm changing very different, social circles. And I may have to adjust myself a little bit depending on who I'm around. But it's all for the ultimate goal of what? Achieving emotional fulfillment and happiness and to have peace prevail. Wonderful reading, Aries. Wonderful to see you as a role model. You are as a role model at this point in time for whom all humans should inspire to be. Anywho, thank you all for coming here to Can Angels Fly Tarot and more, and allowing me to read the tarot cards for you for May 2021. Until next time, bye.